Server monitoring should not require a credit card. Beszel gives you the same historical data, Docker stats, and alerts as Grafana, but it costs $0. The difference is architectural. Grafana is a heavy observability platform that demands a time series database, a separate alert manager, and often a commercial cloud. Beszel is a single binary written in Go. It stores your metrics in a compressed SQLite file. The binary on the server is 14 megabytes. The client agent is 7 megabytes. You can run it on a Raspberry Pi Zero without noticing the CPU usage. Deploying Beszel takes one command on the server. You download the Linux AMD 64 binary, make it executable, run it with a port and a password. That gives you a web dashboard. Then you add machines. Each machine you want to monitor runs its own agent binary. The agent connects to the hub over a WebSocket. No firewall ports need to be open inbound. The agent pushes data every 10 seconds. The hub stores it for 30 days by default. You can change the retention to any number of days. The SQLite file grows by about 100 kilobytes per machine per day. A server with 10 machines running for a year will use less than 400 megabytes of disk. Grafana with Prometheus would use several gigabytes for the same data. The dashboard shows CPU, memory, disk usage, network traffic, and load. Each metric has a real-time graph with zoom. You can select any time window from the last hour to the last month. The graphs are drawn on an HTML canvas. They use WebGL if available, no JavaScript framework, no bloated node modules. The whole front end is 30 kilobytes gzipped. Alerts are built into the hub. You set thresholds for CPU percentage, memory percentage, disk percentage, and network speed. When a threshold is crossed, the hub sends a webhook or an HTTP request to any URL. That URL can be a Slack bot, a Discord channel, a Telegram bot, or your own custom endpoint. You can also configure email alerts if you add SMTP credentials. The alert system is simple. Each threshold has a duration parameter. The alert fires only after the metric exceeds the threshold for that many consecutive checks. This prevents false positives from transient spikes. Docker stats are collected automatically if the agent is running on a host with Docker installed. The agent reads the Docker socket and reports container-level CPU, memory, and network usage. You see each container listed in the dashboard with its own graph. You can filter by container name. This works with Docker Compose and Kubernetes as well, though Kubernetes requires a sidecar deployment pattern. The project is open source under the MIT license. Repository has 22,854 stars on GitHub. The author is Henry G. The code is written entirely in Go. No C dependencies, no external databases. The audit trail is the source code itself. You can read every line. Now the reality check. The good parts are genuine. Beszel is fast, small, and private. Your data never leaves your network. There is no cloud service, no registration, no telemetry. The UI is clean and functional. It loads instantly. The alerts work without configuring a separate alert manager. The Docker integration is seamless. What is missing? There is no plugin system. You cannot add custom metrics like disk I/O per process or application response times. There is no template system for alerts. Each threshold is set manually per machine. There is no user authentication beyond a single password. Multiple users cannot have separate views. There is no team dashboard. The web UI is designed for one operator, not a team of 10. There is no built-in uptime monitoring. Beszel only reports metrics from hosts running the agent. It does not ping external services. It does not check HTTP status codes. If you need to know whether your website is reachable from outside, you need a separate tool. The historical data is stored as flat files. You cannot query it with SQL or export it to a time series database. If you want to migrate to Grafana later, you have to start collecting data from scratch. The project is actively maintained, but the feature set is deliberately minimal. The author has said he will not add complex features that would require a rewrite of the architecture. That is a strength and a limitation. For the same reason, there is no official Docker image. You can build one from the Docker file in the repository, but the author recommends running the binary directly on the host. That is unusual for modern DevOps workflows. The binary does not support TLS by default. You are expected to put a reverse proxy like Caddy or Nginx in front of the hub. That adds a layer of configuration. Now the call to action. If you run a small cluster, home server, or a handful of VPSs, use Beszel. Star the repository at github.com/henrig/Beszel. Subscribe to Open Sourcery for one tool every week. No fluff, no sponsors. Just code that works.